Hello, everyone. It's Helen Eimers, and I help women business owners amplify their energy, their influence, and their income in this beautiful life. There are so many women who have a mission and a purpose, and it's just so amazing to support them with this work, to support them with making this work for them. And something I've been hearing quite frequently lately from not only my friends and family, but also some of my clients is the languaging around not having control. Okay. Now, this is huge, right? The reason we feel like we don't have control is because of the thoughts we think about a circumstance, a situation. Now, there are things that happen in this life that we just can't control. I totally get it, right? There are circumstances that happen, situations that happen that are out of our control. We cannot control, right? When someone passes away, we cannot control when someone says something. We cannot control the weather. Those are circumstances, those are situations. But what we often say is like, I can't control this. Right? And we don't say it like that. It's not like straightforward. It's a very subtle way that we say this. And when we speak in that way, right? It's like, I can't do anything about that. That isn't working. They said this. They were being dramatic about that, right? When we start to use that sort of language and exercise those thoughts, which are very natural for us, because we can feel threatened when we feel like we don't have control. We feel very threatened by that because guess what? I love to have control. I like to just have my schedule and I love for it to go beautifully, but it doesn't because life happens, right? But I can be as prepared as I can be, and that gives me back the power. And so I just want you to like consider one of the most recent times where you just felt like things were out of control. If you want to type it in the chat, if you want to message me, I would love to hear what these things are for you. They're so interesting to me. And there shouldn't be any shame around it, right? There is just this awareness of like, wow, I felt really out of control when they said this, when the weather happened, when my schedule didn't go as planned because something went awry in my day or something else came up, right? And so we feel powerless. We feel like we have no control. So I want you to just like pause and think for a second about the last time that happened to you, right? For me, it was like, I'll just give you a very simple example. I'm working at home today and my kids came home and I had my schedule all beautifully planned out. And I wasn't sure yet if they were going to come home for lunch or not, but they did. And so like that was an hour out of my day that I supported them with lunch. They came home. I mean, I could have controlled, told them like, don't come home, but they needed that space. Okay. So that was like something like very kind of minor. Something else is like someone said something to me last night that made me feel very triggered. I cannot control what they say. And that's another thing. When someone says something that makes you feel very triggered, take a look at that. Take a look at that. You want to figure out what your thought is behind that. Okay. So I did an exercise with one of my clients today and it was super powerful. So I asked her, what are you in control of? She's like, well, I guess I'm in control of what I say or, what I do. But from dusk until dawn, we are in control of so much, so much. I'd love for you to type in the chat. I'd love for you to send me a message and let me know what you are in control of. And there are so many fun things. There are so many things that we are in control of. We are in control. And okay, here's what's going to happen when I start naming these off. You guys are going to be like, yeah, but I have small children. Yeah, but I just never know my schedule. Yeah, but I'm a farmer's wife and I just don't ever know when they'll need me, right? Like you feel like you're out of control. I get it. You have control about the time you wake up. And someone told me recently, and this is what I used to think. It's like, no, actually, I don't because I have small kids, so they wake me up. I am in complete control of when I wake up because I can set an alarm and wake up. And if my kids wake up at 6:30, I could set an alarm for 6 and I would be in control of that. right? Now, again, there are circumstances that happen, but you are in control of what you say when your eyeballs open. You are in control of the first step you take out of your bed. You are in control of the clothes you choose to wear, unless someone's dressing you. I don't know. And then, if someone's dressing you or making you wear something, you are in control of your thoughts around it. You are in control completely with your mind, right? But what happens on a subconscious level is that we have automatic thoughts, we have unintentional thoughts. And I want you to quit judging those thoughts. I just want you to become aware of them, because when we can become aware of them from a place of space and grace, everything changes versus like, "Ugh, I have no control. I feel powerless. Everyone else is doing this thing and here I am. Must be nice for them." Right? They said this, right? Like they created drama. It's like you're creating drama by talking about it. I used to do this all the time. Ask my old friends. Like I was the most dramatic person. I loved gossip and I just created so much drama. And I'm so glad that I'm not in that space anymore, having to worry about that, having to just have all of my headspace taken up by things that I can't control, because I can't control what other people say, what other people do. You're in control of the when you wake up. You're in control of when you set your alarm. You're in control of the your eyes opening, the first thing you say, how you react when someone says something to you. You are in control of the breath you take, right? This is one of my favorite things to do is like when shit is hitting the fan. It's like, okay, I am in control. I can place my hand physically on my heart. I can close my eyes for one split second and take a breath. I am in control of that, right? Now, again, there's terrible, terrorizing, horrible situations where people are, mentally or physically abused. They don't have that control, but we can always come back, right? Like I can control my thought. I can say, I am a good person. That's a thought that I just controlled. That is a thought that I, for many years, couldn't even say out loud, couldn't even say in my mind because I was so conditioned to something else. So start to notice your thoughts, especially the thoughts that make you feel powerless, that make you feel like you're out of control, that has your head spinning, that there's nothing you can do and you don't know what to do. And I'm just so out of control. Everything just feels like it's spinning around me. You can touch your thumb to your finger. You're in control of that. You can touch this finger to this finger, right? And when we start taking control of the most minute, tiny things, we can then start taking control of the bigger things and the more advanced thoughts and the things that determine our path in life and business. And it's so freaking cool, you guys. It is so cool. So think about the things from dusk till dawn that you're in control of, right? What time I set my alarm, what time I plan to get up. And maybe you set your alarm and you wake up early or you wake up late or you hit snooze or your kids, whatever, but you're still in control of it. You have a choice. Always. You always, always, always have a choice. And sometimes I don't make the right choice. I'll be honest. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. I'm not feeling energy today, right? But that's the choice I made. And I get to choose that. So think about all those ways from dusk to dawn that you have a choice. And when you start feeling powerless, when you start feeling like I don't have a choice and this isn't um in my control, start to notice those. Start to make a list of all the things today that you have had control over. Because if you keep focusing on that thing that you don't have control over, you will continue to focus on more things that you don't have control over. So it's a fun experiment. It's a fun thing to say, okay, from dusk till dawn, what do I have control over? What do I have the ability to choose to do? And then when you're feeling very overwhelmed, when you're feeling powerless or like you don't have a choice, start to recognize this is like a gratitude practice for choices, for control. It's like start to notice all of the things in your life that you do have control over, and it becomes amazing, right? The bite of food that I put in my mouth, the way I set my toe down on the ground, the speed at which I tie my jogging pants, right? You have control over so much, and start to notice it and you will feel your power rising versus being powerless. and it's a beautiful shift. I love you guys so much. I'd love, love, love to hear from you what things are in your control and say the little things, right? Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? The speed at which I time my joggers. Go to that level and talk about it and share it and think it and be grateful for it. I want to hear it too. I want to celebrate you and I want to share in that gratitude of your control. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon.